All right. Now I got my microphone on. Hey, it is March 19th, 2019. Let me know if the sound is working properly before I go on further here. We got Old Scott, we got AOL Chandra, we got XRP for me. You got your ticket to ride? Let's rock and roll. This is going to be a fun one. So the question today is, are we seeing altcoin tops right now? Always important to pay attention to. After we've seen the bottoms, now that's the next thing to be looking for. Let's kill the music abruptly. Good. Oh, look at that. We have some chat going on there on the screen as well. Fantastic. It's not going to be on the next screen, but we'll check it out. I want to get right into it now because of what's going on the charts right this minute. So here's our disclaimer to say that this isn't financial advice. You can pause the video to read the disclaimer, or you can click on the link in the description below. This is the Bull Market Watch channel, and the goal here that we're trying to achieve is to consistently measure the markets with the same trading plan day after day after day after day, and then chart the bullishness and bearishness index of all of the markets, add that up, and give ourselves an average of the bull or bear ratio. Right now, we're pretty much max bull and minimum bear. So today, we're going to see if bear is creeping up and bull is slipping off. Is neutral picking back up and bear slipping off? We want to see if things are slipping back. And one of the first things I want to take a look at is this chart of 4, where we have Bitcoin, Stellar versus US dollar. This is a little different here. This is versus US dollar. Then we have Ethereum versus, Tether, US dollar, whatever. And Litecoin versus US dollar. And we can see that they're all making nice moves upwards. We can see that they each are making a beautiful uptrend line by marking a line along 3 different lows. And a break of these trend lines all at the same time would be bearish. This is the kind of thing we're looking for, because now for each of these markets, we also have a kind of a top formation shaping up here, kind of a top formation shaping up here, a much better top formation here, a better top formation here. And when we zoom in on these markets, and okay, let's go back. What we're looking at in the next chart is just this little bit right here. Just this top formation, just zooming in on each of these tops all together. So now when we zoom in, we're watching all 4 of these to see if this is going to be a trading signal up or down. And we're zoomed right in. And because the charts zoom in and out and they scale also nicely, your brain doesn't scale in and out when you're seeing these pictures, unless you do it to yourself and you actually take this chart and you scroll back out and you take a perspective on, what do you mean are things topping out? Topping out compared to what? That's a really important point, is to say what they're topping out compared to what. Topping out compared to this massive bottom formation, sure, they may be, and it's a good spot to be doing it because we're coming up to all of these highs. But I wouldn't anticipate anything more than just a retest of some of these support levels to build a stronger bottom before we are going higher. So overall, it's not a 3-alarm fire if we are pulling back from here. All right, XRP for me. Have you joined our Discord? No, first time listener. Well, first time listener, let me drag over our Discord thing, because here is something that one of our newer listeners, Telemachus, just said in our chat today. During the 5 weeks that I've been watching the YouTube updates, I've taken 8 positions that I probably would not have taken but for these updates. But these are not financial advice. They're up an average of 29%. During the same time, I've taken 4 positions using your usual dumpster diving methods, currently up 5%. But hey, one of those is going to go ballistic. So this is really great to see. This is the time where my trading system works. It doesn't work all the time. It works when the markets are doing what they're doing right now. So The more people I can get this out to, the more people who will benefit. And you know what? I'm happy to share it because I didn't design it. I didn't make it up. It's something I completely learned from other people and put it together, tested it out, and showed that it works. So now I really want to work the hell out of it. That's why I am doing all these things, so that I can trade it as best as possible. If you want to learn more about it, you can head over to IntroToCryptos.ca and sign up for free. And then click on that top link along the top where you can get the free training. And then you'll work right up to date with everything that we're doing here in the Bull Market Watch. Now for the main part of the show. We're going to go through all the cryptocurrencies and we're going to grade them. We're going to test them against our trading plan, and we're going to give them a grading, a marking, a rating. And that rating is based on the color coding. So yellow means it's an alert. An alert means like, pay attention. It could go into a buy signal soon. And a buy signal, we have our trading plan that you can go and download, but it has 3 different components: the break of the downtrend line, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and the exponential moving average crossover. Once those 3 things line up, then we have a trading signal and a place to think about entering. We've got a couple different ways to enter, a couple different ways. Anyway, now we're hunting for this exit signal, the cold fish. We're also looking for the dreaded orange and reds, the near fails and fails, which will be coming soon, and there'll be short trading opportunities and also hedging opportunities that we'll be paying attention to. The other thing we want to know is, are things going back to a neutral stance instead of a hold or an alert? And those are the things we'll be going through all these charts at breakneck speed, and every once in a while we'll zip back to see what's going on with the main 4, because it's a nail biter. It's great. Now I got the chat up here, so great to have you along. For any new listeners, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you are notified when we do this. It's almost every day, but not quite every day. Sometimes at 6 p.m., sometimes at 8 p.m. Kind of depends on the yoga schedule. Now, here's the break of our downtrend line, roughly. Here's our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then we stayed inside it for the longest time, making this was an alert. We were watching it. Then it sprung up and we've marked it as a hold in our spreadsheet. And so long as it is staying above these lines, it remains a hold. As soon as it starts to go below those lines, we have to consider that it might be a cold fish and it's time to get out of that trade. For now, it's beautiful. It's perfect. Staging up like that, blasting through, and then staging and holding is great. Basic attention token. So if you got a question about anything I'm talking about as I go through this, put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer it, because really I could just go through all these charts. And so long as it is staying, I could just go through all these charts, write it into the spreadsheet, and go and watch some Star Trek. But I want more people to benefit from this. I want to collect your success stories. So I want you to become part of our Discord community. Click on that and come and join us right now so that you can continue the conversation after we're done this video. All right, basic attention token. Let me clear all the stuff off. Basic attention token is actually kind of what we're looking for here right now. We're looking for these 1, 2, 3 top formations, break of this uptrend line, and then we're looking for this moving average crossover. But we're looking for it in the 4-hour bars. There it is. So I'm going to experiment, and I'm going to put this as a cold fish, because it crossed over on the 4 hours. Well, you know, this is crossed over. It's broken the uptrend line, but it hasn't broken below the 1, 2, 3 top formation yet. So I can't change it. I'm going to leave it as a hold. So this is option number 1 that we're talking about, and we'll go through and we'll watch all these markets. We'll mark them out if they mark those 3 criteria to get out of the trade. So these 3 criteria are what we're going over and over again today. So let me just continue on. BNT. Where's my line? There it is. So we got 2 points there. It hasn't given us 3 points yet, but it has broken above these levels. It's kind of a sloppy 1, 2, 3. It's more of a 3, 2, 1, but it works. It does all the criteria. I would take that as a bottom formation trade. especially since it's come up above these areas now and it's given us the chance to add on strength. Remember, there's two different places that we can add on when it breaks out. We could do it on the breakout, or we could wait for it to see if it's a fake out breakout. If it comes down, we know it's a fake out. If it hovers here and then starts to go higher, this is our chance to buy in, and it sort of filters out all of this crap in the middle here, all of that noise. So bank or network token stays as a hold. JC Denton, you're late. Give me 3 chart readings, 3 push-ups. BCH ABC. Clear that off. All right, so I poo-hooed it because I'm not really doing the study on it to know what the technology is. But anyway, it made a formation and it broke out. We marked that as a hold a couple days ago. It'll still stay as a hold, but our hunt for today is looking for these top formations. We're looking to see, are things failing now? Give me that. So we'll check that out in the next couple days. Still marks as a hold. Wow, this got ransacked. So that's definitely a cold fish now. That's definitely an exit. And it may blast up from here, but that's just, even if I didn't have my stops down below and I came back and looked at the charts, I'd be selling out now. I'd step back and do a different chart. BCN. All right, it's starting to do something, and we already got it marked as a hold. I like that chart. There's such a low downside risk to it. It's pretty cool. BTC. We marked it as a hold, then it went back to an alert. All right. Yeah, that's about it. It's an alert because it's still within this channel. It's poked up above the support and resistance level, but it's still got to go. It's still got to go more. Now, from where it is to show me that it's bullish, because it's at this testing zone, it can only be an alert. BitShares. So certainly on this longer term chart, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. And that it's making these moves and pulling back is okay. Now it's given us a pretty nice, 3 tops to be able to work with. It hasn't given us as clean of 3 nice bottoms to work with. I like to have 3 bottoms to make a trend line and 3 tops to make a trend line. Then you can, okay, so if I move it a little bit, now we can start to see that it's still within this trend. If it makes this top formation and breaks out of this trend, that'll be important for us to notice. But for now, it still stays as a hold. Burst was not doing what I was expecting, and it's still hanging along here. I'm going to upgrade it back to an alert. Clam had turned into a cold fish, and now it's jumping back up. And it's not giving us much of a formation here, but if we zoom in, it does indeed have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then it's moving above that, and the moving average is crossed over again. What are we on? 1 hour bars. So it's not quite as solid, but what do I put that back to? I'll put it as an alert. Civic Coin. So we had this as an alert for quite a while. It blasted up into a hold position. It's come back and retested these levels and shown strength and some good volume coming in there. So I think I'll leave that as a hold. Now I see Bitcoin is ticked down. Let's zoom in and see what's going on here. All good. Next we're going on to Dash. Oh, what a beautiful chart. Up, pulling back easy, up, pulling back easy, up, pulling back easy. Wham! It's going to go way up. I love it. It's a beautiful chart. I'm glad that we caught it. I think it was back here as it was consolidating. We were calling it. Anyway, Good to have it. Decreed. Decreed has given us a double bottom. It's blasted up and pulled back here. So strength above these levels would give us something better. I'm going to leave it back to... It's staying above those levels. I'll make it an alert right now. It's not quite a hold, but it still counts as a bullish indicator. Digibyte, this was a fun one. I'm still so happy about this one. However, in our alerts the other day, I posted a question. Is this the top formation? Because on the 12th of March, we had top formation here. Going to Civic Coin, back to Civic Coin, we have this blast off and then a pullback. So the more I go through and see the 12th of March coming up and a top formation, the more wary I am of it. KCS. KCS. KCS is KuCoin. KuCoin is a similar business plan to the utility token BNB, which is Binance Coin. And I'm of the opinion that this business plan of the utility token is right now a working business model. And all of these platforms that are gaining any traction and also have this kind of utility token that is a intermediary for switching between different tokens, they're going to be very, very good. One of the things about Bancor Network Token, was it Bancor Network Token? Is that you can switch between Ethereum items and EOS tokens. So you can not just go between all the Ethereum tokens, but you can cross blockchain with it. So we'll have to double check on that to see if that's the one. I think that is. They have this new wallet that you can do this stuff in there. Bum, bum, bum. So that's a great one. KCS. It's really moved along really well, and I'm very happy. I took, I don't know, $27, I think it was, from mining, and I put it into this, and it's gone up some 40 or 50% already. I'll be holding it for a while because I think this is going to go much higher than the highs in the past. So that means my $27 will turn into $270 and will probably turn into $500. That's pretty good return on just a little bit of mining. So don't say mining's not profitable. Okay, where are we in our spreadsheet now? Digibyte we did. Right, Digibyte and potential top formation. Now we're watching all these top formations. We're looking at March 12th as an important day. This stays as a hold, however, and we're just observing it. Dogecoin isn't doing what I thought it was going to do. It came back a tick. It's not terminal, this pullback here, but I thought there was going to be more going up to the upside. We'll continue watching it. I'll leave it as neutral even until it comes back a tick. Comes back up a little bit. EOS. So EOS really intrigued me because it made these bottoms. We caught it way early. We made some great profits. Then when we were doing this show earlier, we caught this move. So we're green for a long time. It's consolidated here so nicely back above the support and resistance from the past in September and October. A really great candidate. I love all the coins that are doing this, where they're making a bottom in October, November. They came down in December, January, but they've now come back up and went above those levels from. But you can see Bitcoin is still down here, and these coins have come back up. They've really diverged quite a bit from Bitcoin, which means that it's even more important to be watching for the top formation. All of these things will want to come into homeostasis. So these will come down to make the spread back to what it was, or Bitcoin is going to be coming up. Hey, Send Crypto, good to have you along. I like when you're joining in. Dum dum dum. Getting the old regular crowd here. I like it. So hit the thumbs up button. Exercise your finger as if you don't click the mouse enough. So EOS, I'm watching this one now for a top formation, and because it is not clear from where it is, now I'm starting to look for things like the RSI divergences, and then I would go to the on balance volume and check that out, and I would go to the MACD indicator and I would check that out, and really watching closely at this time as it's making this decision. I'm still crazy bullish, but watching for these top formations and trying to document it, so if I am wrong, then I can go back and I can recheck my old notes here and say, what was up? This is my trading journal. This is where I can go back and learn from my own mistakes and from my successes. This is a success. I'm pointing at the screen. You can see my finger pointing at the screen here. This is a success, and you can join in on paper trading this. Point at your screen. You can also circle this and know that at 4,000? 0011. All right. Mark that down. You know, 0011, 1111 type of thing. I love that chart. I'm going to talk about that one a lot as time goes along. This triangle formation is really intriguing because we're watching for top formations right now. And it's a perfect place for this to really take a dip back and retest everything. Or if it is taking off from here and Bitcoin's taking off from here, I'll stay up and just watch this. Like it'll be like watching one of the moon launch rockets taking off. So what do I mark this as now? I have to mark it as alert. It's close though either way. That could be. Factum is hanging out. I'm going to make it neutral. It's been teasing for a while, and I bet you it's going to really take off when it blasts. But we got lower highs here. We've got, it's kind of doing the slinky effect down the stairs. So maybe not going to be taking off. Foam. Okay, showing a little bit of strength here again. We have some nice buying going on. We had it as a hold, but I'm just going to move it back to an alert. So things are stepping back a bit here. Game. I'm biased on game. I don't have any, I don't think, but what? That's my, okay, that's my thing drawing there. Let's clear that off. That's a beautiful chart formation. I love that. I love it. It stays in alert. It's a great chart formation. We'll see that one take off, and yeah, this one too. I'm gonna leave it as a hold. It could be an alert. I guess it's an alert. My finger says, and we'll talk about that one over and over again as it takes off. Here's another one. We've got the bowl, the cup with handle, and a really nice. If this takes off, that'll confirm that cup with handle beautifully. I'm gonna leave it marked as a hold because it's broken out above the support and resistance level and stayed above it and showed a bit of strength there. Love it. Fake out, shake out. It could be. These are, I think it's just going to actually go straight up to the moon, and everybody who's doubting it and back and forth and second guessing yourself when prices are right at this edge and they keep going, we can see it. They keep going from bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish, just at the littlest move here each way. All four of them are all looking terrible. They're all looking great. They're all looking terrible. It's easy to second guess yourself at this point. And that's why you have to have a plan. That's why you have to write that plan out in advance. And it's a long, slow plan. It's like watching a slow motion of a golf swing. It takes a long time for these things to actually unfold after you identify them. So I'll leave this as a hold. And so, oh, Kyber network token. Here's another one of those utility tokens that you can exchange between different tokens. 2019 is the year of the hold, not 2018. Absolutely. Our job is to cut our losses. That's our whole job, is to keep our losses small. That's our job as traders, to keep our losses small. The market's job is to tell us how much money we can make. We can't decide that. That's the market's job. So our job is always to keep our losses small at the beginning of a trade, and then once the trade is on, there's nothing for us to do. It's not our job anymore. Now we put our stop above our entry and we just wait and see what the market's going to do. How correct are we? Now we're hunting for those top formations, and this doesn't have one yet. This is still a hold, but any break below these levels would be the 1, 2, 3 top formation, and this would be an important place to take action or to take note for sure. Now, library credit, they just got a new website from librarycredit.io to .com. That's not going to make their chart formation take off, but I love that chart formation. Loom. Dum, dum, dum. All right, here's one that we're watching for the top, and apparently we've been watching for it. Let me grab this and move it to the front so that it stands out, because that's our top formation hunt. And now I'm looking at all support and resistance levels to see, wow, look at that, where they line up in the past, because that'll be important. All right, now Loom. So I'm going to mark that as a hold. Check Litecoin BTC weekly on Bitfinex. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Check Litecoin BTC weekly on Bitfinex. So we go to Bitfinex. Litecoin BTC. And what does my eye immediately jump to? The hunt for today. The top formation. The trend line break. And when I pull this back, that's a pretty steep trend line. So I'm really wary of that. Where does that trend line fit into history? It's well poked above some pretty good support and resistance levels there, but it's also right at the top of, underneath some really important key levels. It's up against some tough competition, as it were. You know, to get above these levels, it's probably going, it feels to me like it's probably going to need a breather. Now, back, zoom out to the weekly. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Head and shoulders would be a shoulder, which is a 1, 2, 3 formation that fails. And then we have a 1, 2, 3 formation that succeeds. See how prices pass the number 2 point? Then prices have come up and they make a number 1, 2, 3 formation and they take off. So the number 1, 2, 3s and the formation of them being sequential and nested is an important part of the head and shoulders formation. If it's upside down or upside right, if I could flip this upside down, it'd be the same thing. Now, so that's a perfect one, of course, right? Textbook. You can see it this way. Then we go back over here and we do have a shoulder on this side. It's kind of, you know, like it doesn't give the head as nicely below the shoulders as, but at any rate, it kind of gives me that, what is that? Again, the Alaskan sled dog pattern feel. You know, that super long term, this is going to go, this is all going to be flatline 5 years, 3 years from now. This whole section, when we look back on it, it'll be flatline, just like the early times of Bitcoin prices from $250 to $750. That's triple prices. And it's like flatline. It doesn't seem like anything, because compared to what the prices did afterwards, it completely squishes all this stuff. So I think this is going to be going much bigger. All right. I'm also super keen about these fantastic chart patterns there, brain dead nigger. Anyway, this is great, but it does feel like it could have that pullback, and I'm watching for all of that right now. Now, back to Poloniex, and we are at Lisk. Litecoin's next. Of course, I'm going to mark it as a hold still on Litecoin because where it is, but it is really close to becoming a cold fish. I'm really watching that. We'll talk more about that as it comes up. Lisk, kind of a messy chart. To clean that up, we have our bottom formation. We had our, this is another chart that I'm so excited about because we were identifying this beautiful formation as it came in, as it made this formation right here. We were nailing it. And we caught this at a beautiful time. It is still doing well. Fantastic. Now we have what is a deeper 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I had this question come up about a different market. But here's a small 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and it took off above. Now we could have a deeper 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Now this is the number 1 point, and this is the number 2 point here. So this would be the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation as things broke above here. So now we have a deeper, longer term 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So I could choose to trade this little small time frame 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and risk the fake out breakouts, which often accompany them. Or I could step back and wait for a deeper 1, 2, 3 bottom on longer time frames to really show that the market has changed directions and it's not just doing a blip, but no, it's really changed. So there are strategies that are much more patient. They take 10 minutes a day. You quickly go through the charts. You go, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. All of a sudden, boom, you say, yeah, there's action. And then there's nothing else to do. You're waiting as all of this all plays out. Dum, 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 dum. Now, the things that we're going to be watching as these top formations come in, no matter when they come in, we're going to be watching for the 1, 2, 3 top formation. We'll look for the break of that uptrend line, and we'll watch for our 2 moving averages to cross over. When we have those 3 things happen together, then that is an action point. The options are we could do it on the 4-hour time frame when these moving average cross over. We could call it a cold fish. Or we could do it on the 12-hour time frame. And we'll go over this as this all unfolds to see what the difference is. And generally, you'll find that the 12-hour time frame takes a lot less time to manage it. You jump in and out a lot less, and you stay in the market for the whole big move instead of jumping out too soon and missing out on a whole bunch of the profit. This is a really important one. The moving average crossover filters out a whole bunch of getting out too soon. Made SafeCoin, still building up. Neutral. Opportunity of a lifetime. Mana, building up nicely, making a great consolidation, poked up and then pulled back. So it'll still stay as a hold, but we'll have to watch and see what's going on there. Navcoin, this is another exciting chart because we just watched this build for such a long time. And then finally it took off out of this massive triangle that we had identified and watched day by day as it finally came to the point of the nose and did something. Now it's up above these levels and looking, smiling. Namecoin, the mystery coin, we never know what it's doing, but it's still going a little higher. So it's not a tradable coin for me, but it's just for our index here. NMR also looking bullish, still holding on above these levels here. Done, good to go. Whoops, nothing here. NXT broke our downtrend line, broke the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and on the 12-hour time chart, the moving averages crossed over. Those are our signals right there. So then you just take action on it and see. OMG. Oh, wow. Look at that wick to the upside. We were looking at that yesterday, actually, and one of the guys in our forum caught what we call a popcorn move, where you buy in here, you set your sell orders out, and he got a sell way up here, took that money, and had this immediate profit off of that trade. So there's going to be a lot more of these happening on the foothills of this big bull market. Once the bull market gets going, these things don't happen as much anymore. They're surprise moves. Once the surprise is done, everybody's all ready for it. This doesn't happen again in this market. Everybody's ready. They're ready to sell, but that is so cool. It is a hold. It'll stay as a hold for a while, it seems. Omni also jumped itself up into a hold, and I don't know, but the chart says so, so I don't think about it after that. Pascal. Hey, it's another one where it's come down to the point of this massive triangle. It's breaking above this 1, 2, 3 bottom at the tip of this number 3 point. Beautiful, beautiful, really fantastic chart pattern. Poly. Okay, now we've got a bottom formation kicking up here, and a break above that is great. That's a hold. PPC is consolidating more, and that point is so important at the level where it is. And then this volume coming in all of a sudden. All right, that is an alert, and I like it all of a sudden. I like it a lot more. Now we're going on to Quantum. Quantum took a big jump up. Wasn't watching this as a big triangle on a larger scale. I was zoomed in on, the small view of it, and didn't expect this kind of step up. I expect much more from this now. Now, I don't expect it to do a huge candle like this again, but I'm expecting it to be doing stages and stages of moving up. There's something about the project that is worth it. So here we go again. This is building up for rep. It's going to go, it looks like it's going to go higher from here, just by that consolidation. And the big move it's done, there is some important technology put into this. This is a betting system where you can, betting is a big dollar industry for profit. So I think this is going to do well. SBD. From this time frame, look at those big candles of buying volume. This is really important, actually, especially when you know the SBD is connected to Steam. So when we get to Steam, let's double check on that. Wow, Altcoin starting to pick up. There's another downward triangle. It's a little smaller, but that it's doing anything here is great. So I've already marked that as a hold a couple days ago. A little premature, maybe. Stratus looks beautiful also. You are looking ahead. And SNT, look at the higher lows here all the way along. This is building up, and it came back for all those who missed the train taking off from the station. This has come back. You can all get on now. All aboard. So even if you're not actually trading it, you are training your brain right now to make money work for you. You know that money does not grow on trees. It grows in charts. And you know the patterns, and we're practicing them here. Steam didn't get that big surge of volume that Steam dollars just did. So something's coming for Steam, and you can see by the shape of this thing. If I throw a ball up in the air, you can see the arc. You can run over it, and you know where it's going to fall, where it's going to land in the field. Not very far. I can't throw very far. But this has got a big momentum change going on, and the volume coming in. There's a lot of nothing to do here, actually. Get some and then sit. It's coming. Now, wow, here's a couple stages higher, and this is going to be moving up from here. I am very happy I got some of this way back in February, January. So really keen and excited. I've got some hard drives here. I better get them up and going. So I'm earning this stuff with those hard drives. Stellar has got some huge candles of volume coming in here. It hasn't moved up nearly as much as this seems to be intending, and it doesn't have 3 points for me to look for a top formation here yet. Doesn't mean it can't come down, but it's not giving me that trend line that like Litecoin is, where you can really see where if it breaks that trend line, that's significant. Now I'm catching up to Stratus. Oh, there's another one where we've got this huge triangle shaping up, and we're just above all of these support and resistance levels. Really beautiful. You are right. This is a phenomenal chart. Love it. And it's not going to just sort of step up. This is going to really move. So we've had this marked now for 4 or 5 days here as a hold. So as it came up out of this triangle, we said, yep, that's ours. And now that it's shown strength and stayed above these levels, even better. This could be your option to be adding on to this trade. If you were to have gotten in on that spot, you could now be adding on. And this is a way to enter with a little bit less risk by putting on only a part of your trade when you start out and adding on to your full trade when it's proving you correct. This is huge. I love this chart pattern. I'm going to put it as an alert, but it's a super strong, like, pay attention alert. If this chart means anything to you and you want to, I like it. I have some of it, so I'm already in. Here we go. Beautiful bottom formation. We watched this as an alert for such a long time, and bang, it's jumped up to a hold, and that the prices come back and hit this level twice without going down further is bullish, like second stage add-on, finish off your full position type of bullish. I love beautiful chart. Yes, indeed. It is a beautiful thing. These are absolutely wonderful, and they don't come around all the time. This takes a long time to build up into something this fantastic. So work this into your brain. Get these patterns into your brain. If you're watching this video sometime way in the future, don't worry. These patterns repeat over and over again. They repeat in all sorts of different markets. This is kind of out of order. But here's silver prices. Look at the shape of this chart. This is a terrible website with all sorts of junky ads on it. Holy, can't handle it. Let's go back to counterparty. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I'll bring up silver in a minute in a less junky website. No, this was still neutral. XEM. You know, this is my 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's poked its head up above and is holding its neck up above those levels, so it still marks as a hold in the chart. XMR. This one's been wow, look at that. You know, we're going to be talking about this in the future. We're going to look back and say, do you remember when we were looking at this chart and it was so amazing? I could have put $5 in and turned it into, 15 or whatever it's going to be. It's insane. Insane. This is a nice, beautiful, rounded bottom, and the moving averages crossed over. I try not to overthink it. It gave me my signal. I make it a hold, and then I just don't make it at such a big position. Let me just finish these off, the old Scott, then I'll bring up MCC. This is one that is confusing because Ripple is going down compared to Bitcoin recently. So Ripple is going up and Bitcoin is going up, but Ripple is not going up as fast as Bitcoin. So therefore, Ripple compared to Bitcoin is going down. And we were talking about this on the chat. If you think of Ripple versus US dollar and Bitcoin versus US dollar as two different racers, Ripple and Bitcoin are both runners, and the US dollar is their starting gate. They're all getting more valuable against the US dollar. They're racing to who's getting more valuable more fast. Is it Bitcoin or is it Ripple? Which is faster, getting more valuable faster? As they're going ahead like this, you can see the price of Ripple going up or the price of Bitcoin going up. But then if you look between the racers, Ripple and Bitcoin, that's the Ripple versus Bitcoin price. So if Bitcoin is going up faster than Ripple, then Ripple versus Bitcoin is going down. And this is what we have here. Ripple versus Bitcoin is going down. But if I jump over and look at Ripple versus US dollar, it's making a beautiful bottom formation, just as beautiful as Bitcoin's is, not taking off as early. So it's still, after all that, on this chart, this will be marked as a near fail. Zcash. All right, Zcash is the one we were talking about, looking for a more mature, a deeper bottom formation. So let me clear this up, and we can see the break of the downtrend line, roughly. We've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but I got to zoom in. I got to zoom into the 4-hour bars before I can really see it, and it's still not super strong. We can see the number 1, number 2, number 3, hit the number 2, retested, and then finally broke above it. And there's our takeoff on some nice volume. So it is a legitimate trading signal on the 4-hour bars. Or we could zoom out a bit, go to the, say, the 12-hour bars, and wait for something a little bit bigger to come out of this. So I would wait for prices to come up to support and resistance there, come back to support and resistance here, and then go. This would give me the deeper bottom formation. Whoops, that's terrible. The deeper bottom formation to trade out of. So I have to wait a while for that deeper bottom formation to actually manifest. It's still not there. We have this tiny little bottom. We have a little wee bigger bottom, but these often have fake out breakouts as we're building that larger bottom formation. And then when it does take off, this is more certain. Again, it's the change of the tide, change of direction, and not just the quick spike up as we're getting ready to change direction. Dun-dun-dun. So I'm going to leave it marked as neutral and let it mature a bit. ZRX. Okay, so this is maturing a little bit better. It's got some more time onto it. So we got February to March. It's got that's much better bottom formation. So as it comes up and breaks above there, that'll turn into a hold. So I'm going to make this an alert from neutral. And then now we are going to update our chart and see what the bullishness, bearishness index actually turns out to be. So when I copy and paste this formula across, it'll count up the number of color-coded coins and then update it on our chart here. Ta-dum. Okay, so a little bit less bullish, a little bit more bearish, not very much change. I was expecting some more of a dive. If we do see these top formations and stuff start to pull back, we'll see this and it'll show it to us. So just back into Bitcoin, Stellar, Litecoin here, and Ethereum versus US dollar here. Now we had a couple of coin requests and I loved doing those. I think they were on Binance. Let's go back and see. MCC. Now what's this? My apologies. I had crap in my browser settings here. Go to Binance. Bring up my filters. Now we're doing it. Drag this back over. And we're looking for my short-term memory. MCC. M. I'm challenged. MCC. Okay. Well, I don't know what MCC is. Why am I having trouble finding MCC? Multi-coin charts. Oh, I see. Right, for the silver chart. Okay, yes. And it's not coming up here. They've changed their setup here so that now it's not easy for me to type in the name and change the symbol. Or is it? And so then I'm going to go to our spreadsheet. On the second page of the spreadsheet is all of the quick links that I use all the time. And I have it here because I use them all the time. Let's go to, that's the wrong quick link. Let's go to Coin Signals Pro. And then we see if they have silver here. No. But we can go to Trading View, go to Markets, under Futures, Metals, Gold Futures, Silver Futures, here's gold and silver. So gold had a nice bottom formation there in August, September. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Came back, retested these levels. So it was a tough one to get into. But then, if you're persistent, there's your secondary entry, and we're good as gold. It just came back and retested it, and we're setting up now. So what is the time frame on this? This is the last month. Year to date, 1 year, 5 year. I keep wanting to scroll the chart. All time. So here's gold building. Doesn't this look like a crypto when you see these chart patterns building? We've got these higher lows and it's making an ascending wedge triangle here over a several year period. Isn't that crazy? Let's look at silver and go to all the price charts they have. So we're looking at 1995 all the way along here. And when I first got into commodities trading, it was here in 1995, and my guru was saying that at these prices at $5, silver is going to go way up. These are at historical lows. It's making a bottom formation. He was teaching 1, 2, 3 bottoms. And you know what? You had to be pretty patient for some years here. So 1995 to 2005. That's a long time. Then things started to take off. Now, I keep trying to scroll in. We've had the big blow off. We've had that top formation just like in Bitcoin. It's come down, it's consolidated. It's making a descending wedge triangle. Is Litecoin, is silver going to make a dip down like Bitcoin did before it goes up higher? We'll have to really keep an eye on it. But here's some people saying the bullish cycle is near, that it's made the bottoms. It's making a 1, 2, 3. And this is our springboard entry pattern. If we look at this chart, this is our springboard entry pattern. It's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And at the number 3 point, it's making a tiny 1, 2, 3 bottom right there. So just like Bitcoin, I also believe that silver is going to be going up. Really some amazing. And this same chart patterns work over and over and over and over again. So many different markets. It's fantastic to be studying it, and I'm happy to be sharing it. I hope you guys, when you have these success stories and things are coming in for you, I want you to come back and say, thank you, this is done well. It's my giving back to the people who taught to me to be able to pass this on to you. Okay, let's, Anonymous. I had to read it out slowly again. Let's go take a look at waves. Anonymous. I had a friend who wanted to have a film studio called Loeb Udget Productions. Finance. Filter. Waves. Waves. What are we looking at? The 1 hour view. It's not jumping out at me as bursting with strength and about to blast higher out of inevitable demand. It could blast higher out of this. There could be a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but this is one where I'd have to wait for it to turn around now. Zoom out. Let me go to the 3-month view. So I'm in the 12-hour bar charts. Yeah, it needs to get above these levels. It's got to turn around and not just, cross them. For me, it's got to stop here and consolidate. Then I'm going to be happy. It's got to really change direction and show me that it's solid and not just a quick spike. It's got enough quick spikes here. I believe it will, but it's all a matter of timing. When. That's the hard part. So right now, it's not got enough turnaround for me to put any teeth into it. Poly. LMNOP. Yeah, Poly's making a bottom formation. Ignore this massive wick to the downside. A lot of people got screwed right there for sure, but it actually is not affecting the markets. As I see these things over and over again, they're not affecting the market overall. They're just screwing everybody that minute. I really like this chart because of these volumes of buying. When it comes in an instant like that, this is somebody big taking a large position. So they're a little early as they're going through here. It does look potential, especially here. It looks like a great position to buy. So this is where our filters are 3 different trading criteria. And then, of course, the risk control rules that we teach in our course. Those are really key for saving your bacon when these kind of things happen. Now we have this bowl shape and a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's looking great. So it has to break above these levels for it to have turned around. You can buy on the breakout, buy on the retest of the breakout on strength. There's a couple different ways to approach that entry, and it's looking great because of this volume here. The 2 things work together. You got the bottom formation and the volume. Now you can have a price move. Dum, dum, dum. I own some key. So my thoughts on key are that I actually read up on the project, and I just did some reading on projects one day, and I was going through a whole bunch and just doing some skimming on it, and I thought, yeah, I like it. And it was making this formation here, so I purchased in, and I thought, well, I'm not getting out. What's the price of it? 70 something Satoshi. I don't know, I put $50 in. I thought, whatever, I'll just forget it. I'm not going to jump in and out. And now we can see that we have some volume coming in, and it's dipped down here, but it could just be what do you call a bear trap, trying to get all of these bears, to get everybody selling out. But whatever, it's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom and starting to change direction now. So if I clear that off and make sure that we're in the 12-hour bar view, the moving average has crossed over here. It is making the 1, 2, 3 bottom. Kind of has broken the downtrend line, but a break above these levels gives you a place to be able to consider taking a position, or you could wait for the prices to make a move and then come back. Right? Make that move, come back, retest these levels, and then go from there. So beautiful. I like the project. Couldn't tell you what it was now, but when I read it, I thought that's pretty cool. That's a unique, whatever it was, and I don't know now. UW Parkside Artisan. Had you here earlier. So what kind of art do you do? Art Parkside. ADA is a really great chart. This is just such a well-developed bottom formation over such a long period of time. What a huge ascending wedge triangle. Entirely massive. And they made some big changes here in December that right as everything was bottoming here, it was perfect timing that they announced it. It made some moves, but it's not done at all yet. At all. You see this bottom formation. You remember how we can stand this up and estimate where things are going to go just by taking this bottom and standing it up. So easily we're looking at the 4,400 level, 4,000 level from where we are now. So triple, quadruple in price for this over the period of time coming up, the next 12 to 18 months. Insane markets here. Absolutely beautiful. We'll come back to these charts and oogle them again later. Phenomenal. So our bull market watch now is really looking great. We're really bullish all over the place. When we look at our 4 coins, we are in fantastic bottom formations, though we may still pull back and make these bottom formations develop a little bit longer before we break higher. I'm ready for the break higher. I'm prepared. I'm balls to the wall, but it really could pull back and it wouldn't be a problem. From these levels, so long as we stay above the number 3 point in these big 1 to 3 bottoms, all is good. Mostly trading crypto. Yes, indeed. Trading crypto, doing yoga, take the dog for a walk, do some gardening. What a life. Really. Great to have you guys along. Thanks again for joining. I appreciate your company. You keep me structured. I'm going to be sure that I'm going to make as much profit as I can in the next time that the markets come around. And you know, as just a finishing thing here, I was looking at Ardor as I was preparing. I was looking at the 1-year view of Ardor. And then I pulled it back because I wanted to talk about March of 2017. Was it Ardor? Yes. Here we are, March of 2017, where we had the bottom formations in March. And I was making videos and I was talking about the bottom formations. I made a whole bunch more videos on April 1st of 2017, a big long playlist talking about these bottom formations. Hey, everybody, jumping up and down. Look at these bottom formations. Phenomenal. And they really took off. But the thing that I wanted to point out here as I was watching this chart and I was looking at this top formation, how did this top formation manifest? Where did the moving averages cross over? The most important thing was, the most important thing was this date right there. I think it was about August 3rd, because that's the date that Bitcoin started going up and the altcoins started going down. Until then, as Bitcoin's going up, the alts are going up at the same time. So Bitcoin's flattening out, altcoins are. Bitcoin's going up, altcoins are going up. Bitcoin's going sideways, altcoins are going down. Now they're going up together a little bit and they split. So this moment right here, when that happens in the future, I want everybody in the chat to be jumping up and down and pointing it out. Like point to your screen, jump it, put it in the chat and say, hey, we're diverging. We're what can we even call this? Where Bitcoin is going one way and alts are going the other. This is a really important key date that I missed last time, and I stayed expecting that the alts were going to consolidate and follow along with Bitcoin again after this. And of course, we know now that that didn't happen. The alts continued to go down as Bitcoin went up until Bitcoin topped, and then the alts all sprung up. So let's watch for that as the next time comes around. Thank you, Anonymous, for the kudos on the video. I love doing this stuff. I really want to get rich, so I don't mind sharing it. You're not going to take away from how much profit I can make. You can make all the profit that you can make. We all can benefit from this. And if I can help out people around the world who I never get a chance, holy shit. New subscriber. It's a loud thing in my ear. It's startled the daylights out of me. Thank you very much for the subscription while we're going along. Great. I see we got 20 people watching now and 11 thumbs up. So there are 9 of you who don't like it. Anyway, if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Any kind of engagement is good. If you have questions, leave them in the chat. New subscriber. I love it. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you guys being here. Good luck in all of your crypto trading. We will tune in tomorrow and we'll follow up again to see where all of these markets are going, where they're going next. Let's check these top formations. These are taking off. These are not top formations. It's great to see. Cheers. Good luck for now. And here's my trading setup.